The Secret Agent by Joseph Conrad. Episode 2.
London under threat. London under threat. Explosion in Greenwich. London under threat. Man blown up in Greenwich.
Perhaps, Mrs. Verloc, when your husband gets here, he will be able to explain about this collar, which was found at the scene of the outrage. It does have this address written on it, so I must assume that if you know nothing of the event, then your husband will.
Where's Stevie?
You see, Mrs. Verloc, we've not been able to identify the owner of the coat. All we could find were the mangled remains of someone who'd been blown to pieces. You can see our difficulty, can't you?
Expect a heat.
Is it still raining, Mr. Verloc?
Come through here.
You are the other man, Verloc, and I think it's best...
Quiet, man. Winnie's next door.
2 men were seen entering Greenwich Park this morning.
Well, take me now. What's to prevent you?
Oh, no. I know only too well who you've been giving yourself away to. The Assistant Commissioner will have to manage this little affair all by himself. But make no mistake, it's I who found you out. As for your companion, perhaps you recognise this burnt fragment of overcoat with an address in. This address? Yours, Verloc?
I never noticed she'd hit upon that dodge.
Who was wearing the overcoat, Verloc?
Stevie.
Stevie. Do you mean to say that you made your imbecile brother-in-law carry the bomb? You must have been mad.
I've been mad for a month or more, but I'm not mad now. It's all over. It shall all come out and hang the consequences. You've known me several years now, and you found me useful too. You know I was a straight man. Yes, straight.
If I were you, I'd clear out. I don't think we'll run after you.
Yeah, you hope the others will get rid of me for you, don't you? Well, you don't shake me off now.
How did you get away?
I heard the bang and I started running. The bang came too soon.
We believe he stumbled against the root of a tree, blown to small bits. Limbs, gravel, clothing, bones, splinters, all mixed up together. They had to use a shovel to gather him up.
Oh, my God.
So your defence will practically be a full confession.
Yeah, well, I've been a straight man to those people too long, and now everything must come out.
You won't be believed as much as you fancy you will. I wouldn't trust the Assistant Commissioner. My advice is to clear out while you may.
Where to? I only wish you'd take me away tonight. I'd go quietly.
Winnie's listening, isn't she? At the door.
If Steve had been caught, the most he would have got was confinement to an asylum.
Good night, Mr. Verloc.
No, Chief Inspector,
What?
You should arrest me.
Good night, Mr. Verloc. Good night, Mrs. Verloc.
You all right, Winnie? Say something.
You got your sprat, Assistant Commissioner?
Got him.
Good. You've no idea how great men hate to be disappointed in small things. I'm glad. But I say, is it really such a small thing?
Do you know what may be done with a sprat?
He's sometimes put in a sardine box. Oh, yes. There are canaries on
Yes. But a sprat is thrown away to catch a whale.
You're after a whale, then?
More of a dogfish. You know what they are?
With this fishing bill, we're buried in special books up to our necks. It's a noxious, rascally-looking, altogether detestable beast, with a sort of smooth face and moustaches.
Only mine is clean-shaven. You've seen him. It's a very witty fish.
I have seen him. I can't conceive where.
At the Explorers, I should say.
Nonsense. What do you mean? A member? Of the club?
Honorary.
Heaven.
That's between ourselves, by the way.
That's the beastliest thing I've ever heard in my life. I'm a member, as are you. The sort of chaps there are, well, our sort of chaps.
I didn't mean any harm to come to Stevie. That damn policeman, he's a brute. Blurting it out like this to a woman. I made myself ill thinking how to break it to you. I sat in the Cheshire Cheese thinking over the best way. You should have some of this beef, Winnie. You must understand, I never meant any harm to come to that boy. I didn't feel particularly gay sitting there, thinking of you. Well, it can't be out, Winnie. Come on, we've got to think of tomorrow. Now, you want all your wits about you after I'm taken away. There you go, Winnie. We both need our strength now. You might look at a fella.
I don't want to look at you as long as I live.
My word. That get-up, you look quite foreign, Assistant Commissioner.
Thank you, Sir Ethelred.
It's not meant as a compliment. Well, what have you found out? Spare me the details.
I went to the shop in Brett Street. A sullen, brooding and sinister place, especially in the rain.
And you came upon something unexpected on the first step?
Not exactly unexpected, Sir Ethelred. What I mainly came upon was a psychological state.
You must be lucid, please.
I only had to whisper to this Verloc, the man who Heat wanted to protect, that I knew he was at the bottom of this affair, for him to fling himself, figuratively speaking, on my breast.
What then have you learned?
First, that Michaelis had nothing to do with it, though the lad who blew himself up had been staying with him up to this morning. It's likely that Michaelis still knows nothing. Verloc went there and took away the lad on the pretence of going for a walk in the lanes.
And this lad is...
Mr. Verloc's idiot brother-in-law.
Good Lord.
Indeed, Sir Ethelred. But Verloc had been driven almost out of his mind by an extraordinary performance which you or I would not take seriously, but which he did. You know of Mr. Vladimir?
A member of the Explorers?
The same. Verloc had been in the employ of the embassy as a secret agent since the time of Baron Stott Wartheim, and had come to regard his services as indispensable. Vladimir informed him that this was not so, and charged him with arranging a suitable outrage to earn his money.
Blowing up the Greenwich Observatory? But why?
To coincide with the Milan Conference, and to provoke the English police into clamping down on terrorists, foreign subversives, and political activists.
All this seems very fantastic.
Doesn't it? But Verloc took it seriously. He is impudently unintelligent, vulgar and heavy. Somewhat like a master plumber with that...
Quite.
He became very angry and frightened, and thought these embassy people quite capable not only to throw him out, but give him away to the authorities. He did not plan the death of his brother-in-law. That was a shock to him. Perhaps he is a man of strong sensibilities. Perhaps he was even fond of the lad. Who knows? He risked consciously nothing more but arrest for him.
How could he hope to have his own share in the business concealed?
It's possible he never thought of it at all. His state of dismay suggested to me an impulsive man who, after committing suicide with the notion that it would end all his troubles, had discovered that it did nothing of the kind.
What have you done with him?
As he seemed very anxious to get back to his wife in the shop, I let him go.
You did? But the fellow will disappear.
I don't think so. He is in danger from his comrades. How could he explain leaving his post? But even if there were no obstacles, he would do nothing. He hasn't enough moral energy to take a resolution of any sort. Permit me also to point out that if I had detained him, we would have been committed to a course of action on which I wish to know your precise intentions first.
I'll see the Attorney General tonight, and we'll send for you tomorrow morning. Is there anything more you wish to tell me?
I think not, Sir Ethelred. Unless I were to enter into details, which I know...
No details, please. And you say that this man has got a wife?
Yes, Sir Ethelred. A genuine wife and a respectable marriage. He told me that after meeting Vladimir, he would have tried to sell his shop and leave the country, only he felt certain that his wife would not hear of going abroad. Nothing could be more characteristic of the respectable bond than that. A genuine wife, and the victim was a genuine brother-in-law. From a certain point of view, we are here in the presence of a domestic drama.
You're upset, that's what you are. What's done can't be undone. The future. That's what we've got to deal with. Oh, say something.
Stevie.
Huh? What? Oh, look here, do be reasonable, Winnie. What would it have been if you'd lost me? Now, we should sit down and talk about this.
Go away.
But don't be a fool, Winnie.
Go on.
No, then, Winnie. Oh, you don't know what a brute I had to deal with. No, you don't.
Ah, Assistant Commissioner, what a pleasant surprise. I never hoped to see you here tonight. Annie told me that you were...
Yes.
In connection with the Greenwich affair?
Yes. I am glad to tell you that Michaelis is altogether clear of this affair.
Why? Were your people stupid enough to connect Michaelis with the... Oh, not one person here tonight would think of that poor man being involved with the affair.
Of course.
Now, do you know Mrs. Jameson?
We have met. Are you well?
Very.
And Mr. Vladimir?
I know of him.
As I know of you, Assistant Commissioner.
You know, Mr. Vladimir's been frightening me.
You do not look frightened.
Well, he tried to, at least.
Force of habit, perhaps.
He's been threatening society with all sorts of horrors apropos of this explosion in Greenwich Park. It appears we all ought to quake in our shoes at what's coming if those people are not suppressed all over the world. I had no idea this was such a grave affair.
I've no doubt that Mr. Vladimir has a very precise notion of the true importance of this affair.
You mean that we have a great experience of these people? Yes, indeed. We suffer greatly from their activity, while you appear to suffer their presence gladly in your midst. I may even say because you do.
That may well be the case.
If you'll excuse me, ma'am, I must take leave of this delightful gathering.
Oh, so soon.
Duty calls, I'm afraid. Good night, and thank you. Mrs. Jameson, Assistant Commissioner.
Oh, such a charming and witty man. Are you leaving as well, Commissioner? I thought you were going to stay and take Annie home.
I find that I've yet a little work to do tonight.
In connection with...
Well, yes, in a way.
Tell me, what is it really, this horror?
No, Winnie. You have no idea what I've had to deal with. Vladimir, you jeering brute. After all these years. A man like me. You didn't know what I've been up to, and quite right, too. I was so good at telling her that I stood the risk of having a knife stuck in me any time these 7 years we've been married. Now, I'm not a chap to worry a woman that's fond of me. You had no business to know. Oh, a venomous beast. He'd drive me into a ditch to starve as a joke. He thought it was a good joke. A man like me. Hey, look here. Some of the highest in the world have got me to thank for still walking on their two legs to this day. Yeah, that's the man you married, my girl. Yeah, there isn't a murdering plot for the last 11 years that I haven't had my finger in at the risk of my life. There's scores of these revolutionists are sent off with their bombs in their blamed pockets to get themselves caught on the frontier. The old Baron knew when I was worked to his country. And here, suddenly comes along an ignorant, overbearing devil. old Baron wouldn't have had the wicked folly of getting me to call on him at 11 in the morning. If I'd been seen going in, I'd have had a knife in my back. Silly murderous trick. If it wasn't for you, I'd have taken that bullying brute by the throat and rammed his head into the fireplace. If I hadn't thought of you then, I would have choked the life out of the brute.
What are you talking about?
Your coat, Mr. Vladimir.
Thank you. Oh, is it still raining?
It is, you need your umbrella, I think. Oh, you're leaving already, Assistant Commissioner?
I am.
Is this your coat, sir?
It is. Thank you. Oh, is it still raining?
It is, sir.
Annie said I would need an umbrella. Good night, Mr. Vladimir.
You go to bed now. What you want is a good cry.
Might have been father and son.
What'd you say? Oh, yes. The embassy people. Yeah, pretty lot, ain't they? And before a week's out, I'll make some of them wish themselves 20 feet underground. The embassy. I wish I could get loose in there with a cudgel for half an hour. I'll teach them yet what it means trying to throw out a man like me to rot in the streets. But I've a tongue in my head. All the world should know what I've done for them. I'm not afraid. Everything will come out.
And I thought you had a cold.
I was upset. I was upset on your account. Now you must pull yourself together. Which you have brought the police about our ears. But I won't say anything more about it. You couldn't know.
I couldn't.
I don't blame you. I'll make them sit up. Once under lock and key, it'll be safe enough for me to talk. You must reckon on me being 2 years away from you. Yeah, it'll be easier for you than me. Now look here, Winnie. What you must do is keep this business going for 2 years. I'll send you word when it's time to sell. You'll have to be extra careful. The comrades will be keeping an eye on you all the time. No one must know what you're going to do. I've no mind to get a knock on the head or a stab in the back directly I'm let out. No, I'll not let them do away with me. I'm too fond of you for that. You know, Winnie, I think there are yet a good few years of quiet life before us both. We could lie low for a bit, somewhere abroad.
And what of Stevie?
Where are you going, my dear? Yes, my girl. You go to bed, have a little lie down. You'll be the better for it. Now you simper yourself again. Oh, you're a good sort, Winnie. Your mother was right in that. But that night when Stevie was waving the carving knife and shouting about scorched skin, and I woke you to settle him, I couldn't tell you what I had to do. You see, I'd seen Vladimir that morning, and I had to protect you. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're my wife. And I had to protect you. And Stevie. So, when you came back to bed...
Whatever's the matter, Adolf? You should be in bed.
I don't feel very well.
Giddiness?
Yeah. Not at all well.
Overdoing it, I expect. Beef tea first thing and a compress on the eyes will soon buck you up. No need to shake your head like that, Adolf. I'm usually right in these things. You'll catch cold standing there. Taking's very small today.
Did you turn off the gas downstairs?
Yes, I did. That poor boy's in a very excited state tonight.
Well, I did suggest he went to bed, but he took no notice.
He's got himself overexcited, that's what he's done. There's no lad in London more willing and docile than Stevie. That boy would go through fire for you, Adolf.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't know how I'd do without him.
Well, you do very well, Winnie. You do very well. And you still have the spark in you. I haven't been feeling well for the last few days.
That boy hears too much of what's talked about here. If I'd known they were coming tonight, I'd have seen to it he went to bed at the same time I did. He was out of his mind with something he overheard about eating people's flesh and drinking blood. What's the good of talking like that?
Well, ask Carl Yunt.
Disgusting old man.
Yeah.
Stevie believes it's all true. He gets into passions over it. He glared at me as if he didn't know who I was. He can't help being excitable. He's no trouble when left alone. I wish he'd never been to school. He's always reading the newspapers from the window and gets a red face poring over them. We don't get rid of a dozen of those Freedom of the Proletariat tracts a month.
Yeah.
Silly reading. There's no sale for them. And Mr. Ossipon brings a pile every week. The other day, Stevie read a story of a German soldier half tearing off the ear of a recruit, and... well, it's not our business, is it? I had to take the carving knife from the boy. He was shouting and stamping and sobbing.
Oh.
He can't stand the notion of cruelty.
Yeah.
You comfortable, dear? Shall I put the light out now?
Yeah, put it out.
What are you staring at, Adolf?
Nothing.
Something a friend said? Has something happened today?
No. No. I couldn't tell you what I was staring at. I was staring at the face of the devil. The devil I'd met that morning. What we both need is a nice cup of tea. Oh, I've done what I can. I took the mother in, treated Stevie as if he were a son. I didn't mean for this to happen. You should have told me that you'd written his name and address in the collar. If I'd known that, well, it would have made the difference. Still, once she's had a rest, we can plan for the future. Yeah, well, she'll see the sense of it soon enough.
Good night, Mr. Vladimir.
Good night.
May I walk with you, Mr. Vladimir?
Rotten weather?
Mild. We've got hold of a man called Verloc.
What?
You know him.
What makes you say that?
I don't. It's Verloc who says that.
A lying dog of some sort.
This affair at Greenwich makes such an excellent starting point.
For what?
The clearing out of this country of all the foreign political spies, secret police, and that sort of dog. They're a nuisance, but we can't seek them out individually.
Is that so?
The only way is to make their employment unpleasant for their employers. The thing's becoming indecent, and dangerous, too, for us here.
What do you mean?
The prosecution of Verloc will show the public both the danger and the indecency.
Nobody will believe what a man of that sort says.
The wealth and precision of detail will convince the public.
So that is seriously what you mean to do?
We've got the man. We have no choice.
You will be feeding the spirit of these revolutionary scoundrels. Why make a scandal? From morality?
There's a practical side. We have enough to do with a genuine article. You can't say we're not effective, but we don't intend to be bothered by shams under any pretext whatever.
Your view is selfish. My sentiments for my own country cannot be doubted, but I've always felt that we ought to be good Europeans besides. I mean governments and men.
Foreign governments cannot complain of the inefficiency of our police. Take this outrage. Difficult to trace, as it was a sham, yet in less than 12 hours we've established the identity of a man blown to shreds, found the organizer, and glimpsed the inciter behind him. We could have gone further, only we stopped at the limits of our territory.
So you admit this crime was planned abroad?
Theoretically, on foreign territory. Abroad only by a fiction, but that's a detail. I talk to you of this business because it's your government that grumbles most at our police. You see that we are not so bad. I wanted particularly to tell you of our success.
I'm sure I'm very grateful.
We can put our finger on every terrorist here. Once we do away with the agent provocateur, all will be safe.
Cabin! Chesham Square, please.
You're not going to the Explorers, Mr. Vladimir. Vladimir and Heat both put in their place. A good night's work, I think.
I can hear you, Adolf. Stevie should be downstairs, good and useful, helping me clear away the supper things. Then at the kitchen table, drawing circles with compass and pencil on a piece of paper. Circles, circles all the time. I should wear this, my black veil, and nobody will notice me. Be nice to your political friends, that's what you said, Adolf, when we married. Be nice. No love, no visits to the theatre, no walks in the park, but Mother was happy and Stevie was cared for. Be nice to his political friends. Carl Yunt, the disgusting old man. And Tom Ossipon, who makes me blush and look away. I liked Michaelis. Stevie went... And the last time I saw him, he walked away with Adolf like father and son to the country air, and then the... Right. I'm ready to go. I can still hear you, Adolf. A good cry, that's what you said. And all I can see is putting Stevie to bed by a single candle and brushing his hair and tying his pinafores and stopping the blows. I can still hear you, Adolf. And all I can see are the gentlemen lodgers and Stevie blacking their boots, and Mr. Verloc, who is good, looking at me with his heavy-lidded eyes and money in his pockets. And Mr. Verloc, who is good, took me and Stevie and Mother. I don't think Mr. Verloc is getting tired of seeing Stevie about. You said that, Mother, when you lived here. He'd have to get tired of me first. That's what I said. And I thought he had a cold.
I've made some tea, Winnie. What you up to? Where are you going, to your mother's? Well, there's no sense in going there so late. Well, you'll never manage to get back tonight. Well, your mother'll have gone to bed before you get there. Look, this is the sort of news that can wait. Now, let me tell you, Winnie, that your place is here this evening. Hanging all, you brought the damn police about my ears. No, I don't blame you. But it's your doing all the same. What? Why are you dressed like that? I can't let you go out, old girl. Oh, can't you say something? Oh, you have your own dodges for vexing a man. Oh, yes, I know your deaf and dumb trick. But just now it won't do. And take that damn veil off. Yeah, that's better. I can't tell whether I'm talking to a dummy or a live woman. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, you sit yourself down. I ran the risk of giving myself away to find somebody for that accursed job. And I couldn't find anyone crazy or hungry enough. But did you take me for a murderer? Do you think I wanted him to blow himself up? He's gone. His troubles are over. Ours are just about to begin. Look, I don't blame you. But just try to understand it was as much an accident as being run over by a bus. Yeah. I'll pour some tea, shall I? And when it comes to it, It's as much your doing as mine. Oh, you may glare at me as much as you like. I know what you can do in that way. It was you who kept shoving him in my way when I was half distracted with the worry of keeping the lot of us out of trouble. What the devil, Major? One would think you were doing it on purpose. Oh, you have a devilish way of holding your tongue. I am fond of you, but don't you go too far. We ought to be thinking of what we've got to do. I can't let you go out tonight, galloping off to your mother with some crazy tale or other about me. I won't have it. Now, don't you make any mistake. If you will have it that I killed the boy, then you killed him as much as me. Where are you going now? Oh, why are you standing there just looking at me? Oh. I wish I'd never seen Greenwich Park or anything belonging to it. Winnie.
Yes?
Come here. Come on, sit by me on the sofa. Ah, good girl. Oh, no, leave that. Winnie. 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 Don't. Oh! Oh! Don't. Winnie. Oh.
Could almost have been father and son. Oh.
Blown to small bits. Limbs, gravel, clothing, bones, splinters.
You must understand, I never meant any harm to come to that boy.
You could do anything with that boy.
They had to use a shovel to gather him up.
Don't.
Winnie's listening, isn't she?
Don't.
At the door.
Don't. Oh!
They had to gather him up with a shovel. The drop given was 14 feet. The drop given was 14 feet. The drop... Oh.
Mrs. Verloc.
The drop given was 14 feet.
It's me, Mrs. Verloc, Ossipon. I've got you. Steady now.
You recognise me?
Of course. I was afraid you were going to fall. I've thought of you too often lately not to recognise you anywhere, at any time. I've always thought of you, ever since I set eyes on you.
You were coming to the shop?
Yes, directly I read the paper. Where were you going?
Never mind where I was going. Can we walk, Tom?
Of course. Do put your arm in mine. That's right, Mrs. Verloc. Winnie.
What would you say if I said that I was going to find you?
I would say you wouldn't find anyone more ready to help you in your trouble.
And do you know what my trouble is?
After seeing the paper, I met a fellow in the Silenus, whom you may have seen once or twice at the shop. And what he said left no doubt in my mind. Then I started for here, wondering whether you... I've been fond of you beyond words, ever since I set eyes on your face.
I thought so.
You've seen it in my eyes.
Yes.
A love like mine could not be concealed from a woman like you. I was too full of you. I dare say you could not help seeing it in my eyes, but I could not guess it from yours. You were always so distant.
What else do you expect? I was a respectable woman. Till he made me what I am. He cheated me out of 7 years of life.
You seem so happy. That's what made me timid. You seem to love him. I'm surprised and jealous.
Love him? I was a good wife to him. I'm a respectable woman. You thought I loved him? Listen, Tom, I was a young girl and had 2 people depending on what I could do. Stevie was much more mine than mother's. I sat up nights with him on my lap, all alone upstairs, when I wasn't more than 8 years old myself. He was mine. You couldn't understand that. No man can understand that. There was a young fellow, a butcher. He could see it in my eyes. 25 shillings a week, and his father threatened to kick him out of the business if he married a girl with a crippled mother and a crazy idiot of a boy on her hands. But he would hang about. Until I found the courage to slam the door in his face. I had to do it because I loved him dearly.
And Comrade Verloc was...
A good lodger. He seemed good-natured. He was free-handed. He had money. He never said anything. He wanted me anyhow. What was I to do with Mother and Stevie? I said yes. 7 years a good wife to him. The kind, the good, the generous, And he loved me. Oh yes, he loved me till I sometimes wish myself... 7 years. 7 years! Do you know what he was, that dear friend of yours? Do you? He was a devil.
No, I didn't know, but I do now. I understand. Unhappy woman, unhappy, brave woman.
Hold me, Tom. Hold me.
But he is dead now.
You guessed then he was dead. You guessed what I had to do.
You know, I didn't realise that it was so distressing for you both. Is that why Mr. Verloc, you know, did what he did? How did you first come to hear of it?
The Chief Inspector Heat came. He showed me the... Oh, Tom, they had to gather him up with a shovel.
The police? The police came already? Chief Inspector Heat?
Yes. He came. He showed me a piece of... What's the matter, Tom?
Oh, the police might be watching the shop to see if...
He showed me a piece of overcoat and... Do you know this, he says?
Well, what did he do then?
Nothing. The police were on that man's side.
What man?
Another one came too.
Another policeman? Does that mean...
He looked like a foreigner. He may have been one of them embassy people.
What embassy? What on earth do you mean by embassy?
It's that place in Chesham Square. The people he cursed so, I don't know. What does it matter?
Verloc was working for the embassy.
Tom, we have to flee the country anywhere. Can't stay here. You understand? I know you understand. Tom?
There's no train till morning.
You must hide me then.
Fact is, my dear, I can't take you where I live. I share the room with a friend.
You must. Don't you care for me at all?
We might find a safe lodging, but I have no money. And there's the journey before us.
I have the money, Tom. I have enough.
How much have you got?
I have all the money.
From the bank?
Yes.
But how?
He gave it to me.
Then we are saved.
You will save me, Tom. Hide me. Don't let them have me. You must kill me first.
What the devil are you afraid of?
Haven't you guessed what I was driven to do? The drop was 14 feet. I won't have it. I won't. I won't. You must promise to kill me first.
Have no fear, Winnie. Southampton to Saint Malo, of course. From Waterloo. Plenty of time. We're all right after all. Where are you going?
I've forgotten to shut the shop door.
All right, but we must be quick.
Nobody's been in. Look, the light. The light in the parlour.
There is.
I forgot it. Go in and put it out or I'll go mad.
Where's all that money?
I have it on me. Go, Tom, quick. Put it out.
I will. Oh!
Put the light out. Put the light out.
Oh, my God!
He's of no account, Tom. Less than his clothes, his boots and his hat. There's a policeman, Tom. Outside. I will not be hanged, Tom. I will not.
Don't shout! You did this by yourself?
Yes.
I wouldn't have believed it possible.
Don't let them hang me, Tom. Take me out of the country. I'll work for you. I'll slave for you. I'll love you. I've no one in the world. I won't ask you to marry me.
Just stay where you are.
I love you, Tom.
Yes. Of course. Was he asleep?
No. He'd been telling me that nothing could touch him. After taking the boy away from under my very eyes to kill him. The loving, innocent, harmless lad. My own, I tell you. My boy!
The degenerate? Do you mean it was Stevie
What do you think I was made of? I'd been looking at the carving knife. He called for me. Come here in his wooing voice. Oh, yes, I went. For the last time, with the knife.
The knife, yes. No, don't, no!
Help, Tom. Save me. I won't be hanged. You can't throw me off now. Not unless you crush my head under your heel.
Get up! You must go to the station ahead of me, as if we did not know each other. I will buy the tickets for the ferry to Saint Malo and slip yours into your hand as I pass you. Then go into the first-class ladies' waiting room and sit there till 10 minutes before the train starts. When you come out, I will be outside. There may be eyes watching there that know what's what. Alone, you are only a woman going off by train. I am known. With me, you may be guessed at as Mrs. Verloc running away. Do you understand, my dear?
Oh, yes, Tom. We came this way when Stevie and I took Mother in the cab to the almshouse.
Really?
Of course, it wasn't raining then. Stevie got upset because the cabman beat his old infirm horse.
Really?
He was good, was Stevie, don't you think, Tom?
Yes, he was.
You used to watch him drawing his circles, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
And on the way back home, we saw that same four-wheeled cab and that same infirm horse, miserable like the cab of death itself.
Don't stop suddenly, Stevie. You're looking after me to make sure I get home safely.
Look, poor cabman. Poor, he told me himself. Poor brute.
Stevie, you can't do anything about
Fix the horse, because Mrs. and 4 kids at home. This ain't an easy world. We'll get beaten. It's a bad world. Bad world for poor people. Get beaten. It's a bad world for poor people. Bad world for poor people. Beastly.
Nobody can help that. Now, do come along. Is this the way you're taking care of me?
Police!
The police aren't for that.
Not for that? Not for that? The policeman helps me get home. Policeman good. Well, not for that. Not for poor people.
No, the police are there so that them as have nothing shouldn't take anything away from them as have.
What? Not even if they were hungry?
No.
Mustn't they?
Not if they were ever so. Certainly not. But what's the use of talking about all that? You aren't ever hungry. Quick, Stevie, stop that green bus.
He felt sorry for the cab driver, Tom, because he whipped his rickety horse and had no money and had to drive about the streets to feed his family.
Yes, not far now, Winnie.
Thank you, Tom. The drop given was 14 feet.
By the by, I ought to have the money. I've got the tickets. Do you know how much money there is?
No. I thought nothing of it at the time. Afterwards...
Do you know whether he kept his account at the bank in his own name or in some other name?
Other name?
It's extremely important. The bank has numbers on these notes. If they were paid to him in his own name, then when his death becomes known, the notes may serve to track us since we have no other money. The money would then have to be specifically dealt with. We'd have to lose more than half the amount in order to get these notes changed in a certain safe place, I know, in Paris. Do you see how important it is?
He told me once it was on deposit in the name of Prosel.
You're sure?
Certain.
You don't think the bank had any knowledge of his real name?
How can I know? Is it likely, Tom?
No. I suppose it's not likely. Right, here we are. Get out first and walk straight in. Move smartly. This is it, my dear. I arranged with the guard for an empty carriage.
Thank you, Tom. And when we get to Paris, I will always love you. And I won't ask you to marry me.
He was an extraordinary lad, that brother of yours. Most interesting to study. A perfect type in every way. Perfect.
He was indeed. You took a lot of notice of him, Tom. I loved you for that.
It's almost incredible the resemblance there is between you two. Yes, he resembled you. The ears. Yes.
Do you think so?
Both of a type, I should say. Oh, yes. Both of a type. Here we are. I think we should get on the train, my dear. Now, sit over there, in the other corner of the carriage, away from the platform.
Oh, Tom. How could I fear to die after he was taken away from me so cruelly? How could I be such a coward? How could I be so afraid of death? But I am afraid, Tom. I tried to do away with myself and I couldn't. Am I hard? I suppose the cup of horrors was not full enough for such as me. Then when you came, I will live all my days for you, Tom.
Yes, now, make yourself comfortable, my dear.
I will, Tom. Thank you. And where will you sit?
Over here, by the door.
Tom. Tom, no!
All right, excuse me.
Are you all right, sir?
Quite, thank you. A little bruised, but quite all right.
What on earth made you jump off the train, sir?
Well, my wife suddenly had to go to Brittany to see her dying mother. thank you. She's very upset, and I was most concerned at her state. I was trying to cheer her up and failed to notice the train was moving. Still, all's well.
Why not continue to Southampton, sir?
Well, yes. You see, my young sister-in-law has been left in charge of 3 young children, and, well, I acted on impulse.
Well, I'm sure your concern is most welcome, sir, but you being crippled would not help matters.
Quite. I don't think I'll ever try that again.
Are you all right, madam? It's not really a night for being on deck.
Is that you, Stevie? I thought so. Eyes and shoulders slumped with all the misery of the world. Good and useful. I marked the address in your collar with purple ink so that when you went to see Mother you wouldn't get lost. She'd be waiting, thinking that between 2 omnibuses and a short walk you'd be lost for days. I didn't let him worry Mr. Verloc, Mother, for he is good, Mr. Verloc. And Stevie is useful.
I'm sure you'll find the ladies' lounge more comfortable, madam.
Tom, the piper's son, kissed the girls, and when Adolf came back from the continent after renewing the stock, I was in the kitchen when the shop bell. I told him of the comings and the goings, and Stevie fussed around him and took his hat and coat. And I said, you could do anything with that boy, Adolf. He would go through fire for you. That's what I said, Tom.
There were 1 or 2 other single ladies in there, so...
Adolf said nothing. So I left him to his thoughts and his going out and his coming back. Is that when I lost my Stevie? Was it then? Or was it when I said, I wish you would take that boy out with you, Adolf? To stop him sitting on the dark landing at the foot of the tall clock with his knees drawn up and his head in his hands thinking about the cab driver, the infirm horse, scorched flesh and cannibals, Daddy with his stick. I wrote the address in the collar of your coat, Stevie, in case you got lost, and you could do anything with that boy, Adolf. Go through fire for you. That'll be a penny halfpenny.
Yeah.
Thank you. These walks, Adolf. Where do you go?
Different places.
Who do you meet?
Different people.
Stevie mutters about guns and torture, brutality, blowing people up. And when he's drawing his circles, he sometimes stops and stares and clenches his fist and won't tell me why. I'm scared he's hearing more than is good for him. The poor boy gets excited and he can't do anything about what he hears. I tell him that nobody can do anything about it. And he cries and he shakes and I have to hold him.
You know, perhaps Stevie would benefit from getting out of town for a while. Well, that's it, if you could get on without him. I'll just put the newspaper
The
over
idea. Of course I can get on without him. But there's nowhere for him to go.
Oh. Michaelis would be happy to have Stevie. He has his little cottage in the country. He's just writing. He has no visitors.
Yes, Adolf. I do like Michaelis. He's always kind to Stevie. You seem to have grown quite fond of him of late.
Damn it. Well, I shall take the boy myself tomorrow.
He will be so proud to be with you, Adolf. And as I watched you and the delegate of the Central Red Committee set off, one tall and burly, the other slight and short, the material of your overcoat's the same, your hat's black and round in shape, you could almost have been father and son. More of a father than you'd ever had before. And the more you went, the more he wanted you to go. You could do anything with that boy, Adolf. Go through fire for you.
Just you let me know, madam, if there's anything you need.
I watched him go. I let him go.
They had to use a shovel to gather him up.
If you will have it that I killed the boy, then you killed him as much as me.
Bad world. Bad world.
Is that you, Stevie? It's all right, Stevie. Winnie'll look after you. I saw you land on the platform, Tom. Look, Stevie. My wedding ring catches the lights on the deck. If I take the wedding ring off, Mother, and put it on this bench, what sort of wedding ring would the butcher boy have given me? I thought you were looking after me, Stevie. To make sure I get home safely.
Listen, I saw Verloc on the sofa dead. Even though a sickly taste. I had no alibi, do you see? The police might think that I...
Orsipon, my feeling for you is amicable contempt. You couldn't kill a fly.
Oh, I would not have been surprised if she'd suddenly produced another knife. She was the sister of a degenerate herself, of a murdering type, or else of a lying type. Lombroso was right, it's hereditary. She kept clinging on to me. She called me Tom. I was shocked by how she was with me.
I had heard that you are seen constantly in places like this, where men utter foolish things over glasses of liquor. Have you now abandoned your collection of women, Ossipon?
It was the way she walked. She had her black veil down, and her walk was indolent, but her back was dead straight. The angel of death.
Tell me, has one of your victims ever killed herself for you before? Don't you know? Or won't you say? Well, blood and death put the seal on greatness. Look at history.
You be damned. You profess to be one of the strong because you're a walking bomb, able to blow yourself and others to eternity. But eternity's a damned hole. It's time that you need. A man who could give you for certain 10 years of time you would call your master.
My device is no God, no master.
Wait till you're lying flat on your back at the end of your scurvy, shabby, mangy little bit of time.
Ossipon, I think that you are humbug. You're not even a doctor, but you are funny. What's the good of thinking what will be? We should drink to the destruction of what is. I must go.
Stay. Tell me, what do you know of madness and despair?
There are no such things. All passion is lost now. The world is mediocre, limp, without force, and both madness and despair are forces, and force is a crime in the eyes of the fools, the weak and the silly who rule the roost. You are mediocre. Verloc, whose affair the police have managed to smother so nicely, was mediocre. Everybody is mediocre. Madness and despair. Give me that for a lever and I'll move the world. Ossipon, you have my cordial scorn. You are incapable of conceiving what even the fat-fed citizen would call a crime. You have no force. And let me tell you that this money you have, the little legacy that you've suddenly come into, has not improved your intelligence. You sit at your beer like a dummy. Goodbye.
Will you have it?
Have what? Your beer?
The money. All of it. I don't want it.
I will send you by and by a small bill for certain chemicals, which I shall order tomorrow. I need them badly. Goodbye, Ossipon.
It's in the paper.
I never read the papers.
Here it is. An impossible mystery seems destined to hang forever over this act of madness or despair. She threw herself overboard.
Goodbye, Ossipon.
Well, well, well. I'm not looking for you, Professor. Not yet. When I want you, I'll know where to find you.
I've no doubt the papers would give you an appropriate obituary. But you may be exposed to the unpleasantness of being buried together with me, though I suppose your friends would make an effort to sort us out as much as possible.
All this is very good to frighten children with. I'll have you yet.
There's no time like the present, Chief Inspector Heat. For a man of real conviction, this is a fine opportunity for self-sacrifice. You may not find another so favourable, so humane. There isn't even a cat near us,
And these old houses would make a good heap of bricks. You'll never get me at so little cost to life and property.
If I were to lay my hands on you now, I'd be no better than you.
Ah, the game.
Our side will win in the end. It may yet be necessary to make people believe that some of you ought to be shot at sight like mad dogs. Then that will be the game. But I'll be damned if I know what yours is. I don't believe you know yourselves.
But haven't you made your name by not understanding what we are after?
Give it up, whatever it is. Give it up. You'll find we're too many for you. You've only got to look about you. We are. And anyway, you're not doing it well. If thieves didn't know their work better, they'd starve.
I am doing my work better than you're doing yours.
You supplied the explosives, didn't you? Thieving, I can understand. It's a means to earn a living. Do you know what you have done, Professor?
Good night, Chief Inspector.
Lunatic.
In episode 2 of The Secret Agent, Verloc was played by David Calder and Winnie by Wendy Nottingham. Heat was played by Ron Cook and the Assistant Commissioner by Robert Glenister. Tom Ossipon was played by Paul Baisley and the Professor by Robin Soanes. Geoffrey Beavers was Sir Ethelred and Hugh Ross was Vladimir. Joseph Klosker played Toodles and Paul Richard Biggin was Stevie. Saikata Hamed played the Porter and Gilly Mears was the Great Lady. The Secret Agent by Joseph Conrad was dramatised for radio by David Navthine and directed by Jessica Dromgoole.
We present John Moffat and John Woodvine in Il Conde by Joseph Conrad, dramatised for radio by Alan Owen.
In the late spring of that year, 1904, I found myself staying in Naples at my usual hotel, good but not extravagantly up-to-date. It suited me. It was congenial. I often sat in the vestibule at one of the small tables there, reading my paper, watching the comings and goings of my fellow guests. The background noises of the porter's shouts as they maneuvered their charges in and out of the hotel added charm and did not disturb me. One guest I had noted in particular. He was tall, aristocratic, and always correctly dressed. His white hair was brushed upwards off a lofty forehead. His white moustache, heavy but carefully trimmed and arranged, was not unpleasantly tinted, a golden yellow in the middle. About him was the faint smell of a very good cologne and of good cigars. The bow of the hotel keeper was cordial in its deference as he proceeded to the doorway, and he acknowledged it with a familiar courtesy.
Buongiorno, Signor Conti.
Buongiorno, Marcello. Having seen me several times at my table, he gave me a brief nod of acknowledgment without a hint of condescension as he passed by. The nod was as correct as his appearance, kindly but formal. Then he was gone. He must have been 60 or a couple of years more, but it was in his eyes that his age showed the most. They were a little weary with creased eyelids. But at that moment
Ho trovato sto parasole fuori dal salto pranzo.
Non io mio, strongo, chi era anziano un bottiglie?
Cretini, appartiene il conde. E Valone?
Sì, capitano.
Corregatelo immediatamente il conde.
Sì, capitano.
E tutti e due, scemi, tornate a fare casa.
What was all that about?
That waiter and the porter, they don't even recognize il conde's parasol.
Il Conde, who is that?
The cavalier who just go out.
Oh, he's a count, is he? What's his name?
No, he is il conde. Everyone knows il conde. Sì, il conde. Nostro il conde.
Is it a real or an honorary title, Il Conde?
Sì, signor. Il conde.
I'm going to the National Museum. Could you get me a cab?
Una corragela? Sì, signor. Il museo.
Oh, dear sir. We both not only stay at the same hotel, but we both admire this truly magnificent piece.
Oh, yes. Resting Hermes. I never come to Naples without visiting him.
The messenger of the gods who managed to look after commerce and still bring good luck to thieves. No wonder the poor chap needed his rest.
I was thinking of going to look at the busts of the Roman emperors in the Gallery of Marbles.
You will forgive me if I don't join you. I find their faces too vigorous, too pronounced, excessive with cruel discontent, which I'm afraid could never fit in with my view of the world. They are blatant, with an utter lack of compassion, their characters leering and scowling at us across the centuries, full of envious strife. No, that has never been my view of the order of things, so you will understand if I leave you.
But of course.
À bientôt, j'espère.
À bientôt.
Buonasera, signor Conrad.
You are full tonight.
Perhaps the French table.
Non, grazie. Is there somewhere else? Oh, Il Conde is alone. Maybe I could join him.
I could ask him, but I...
Do.
Si, signor. Signor Conrad, Il Conde would be charmed if you would take the place opposite to him.
Grazie.
My dear sir,
I hope I'm not intruding.
After our conversazione in Il Museo, I should be delighted. May I offer you a Campari and seltzer?
Only if I may return a bottle of wine with our meal.
My dear sir, I should be delighted.
A pleasant meal.
I always enjoy this time in the evening. The food is good, but more I enjoy the dressing up for it. The regularity of the black waistcoat and tie, my velvet smoking, amiable company. It pleases me. May I offer you a brandy with your coffee in the card-room? I must have my cigar.
Thank you.
You speak English, but you are not an Englishman.
No, I am Polish. England is my adopted home. And you are?
A European. My home was in Bohemia. Let us go and enjoy our cigars.
An excellent cigar.
They keep them for me. When I say my home was in Bohemia, understand, my dear sir, I still keep a place there, but I keep no establishment. I returned to see my married daughter. She has her schloss nearby my estate, and, of course, the grandchildren.
Of course.
But it is a cold country, bleak for most of the year. I only venture there between July and August. Come September, and I retreat to the shores of the Gulf of Naples. I must.
You must.
You remember the faces of those frightful Caesars we talked about, dispassionate and coldly brutal. I am convinced that those high-class ancient Romans, experts to a man in the art of living, were predisposed to painful rheumatic conditions, and a place on the Bay of Naples was their answer.
An interesting theory.
I am convinced of it. I speak from personal experience. I had suffered myself from a painfully dangerous heart condition until I found relief, and the only place that suited me is right alongside this bay. So here I live with my piano and a few books.
And you live permanently in the hotel?
No, I stay at an hotel in Sorrento, or I hire a small villa from time to time in Capri. I enjoy the fishing. I enjoy talking to the fishermen, then returning to my rooms or the villa to make a little music for myself before dressing for dinner. And Naples is so near, and a little amusement is good for the health. But I am glad to say I am not like those ancient Romans, having to dash back to the capital. My agent manages my estate admirably. My only business is to await the unavoidable, making the waiting as easy as possible. My daughter is married, my wife is dead, I am a widower. You see this ring?
I've been admiring it.
It was given to me by my dear wife many years ago. The other was my father's signet ring. These two rings mattered always more to me than being a busy man of affairs.
So you are content?
My dear sir, at my time of life, freedom from physical pain is a very important matter, much more important than contentment.
But you must surely miss your homeland.
10 years ago, I incautiously returned to my estate in the middle of September. It was a mistake, almost a fatal one. I had only gone to discuss affairs with my agent, but I was laid up in that lonely country house for 3 months. Oh, I will never be so imprudent again, my dear sir. I live by the standards of good society, and as a reward am protected by the state. I live and expect others to live like me and make almost no demands. I hope that the consideration, possibly the concern and control I show to others, will be returned.
Pardon me, but could not that be interpreted as a trifle smug?
Oh, my dear sir, I would regret that. I think that smugness, a very English vice, to be detestable, and it would be presumptuous at least. Yes, I recognize that, and would own that presumption has led many better men than myself to an odious sin of pride.
I'm sorry, and I take your point. Another brandy?
Oh, thank you, no. I have always found enjoyment is to know when to refuse excess. But perhaps tomorrow we might dine together, and I will provide the wine. Buonanotte, my dear sir.
Buonanotte, Signor Conde.
Another brandy, signore?
I think so, yes. Do you have a Putoni?
Il Conde has ordered it, signore. He said it would please you.
Sometimes when traveling, one comes across such lonely men as Il Conde. Deaths and marriages have built a solitude around them. But it must not be imagined that he was a wearisome hypochondriac. He had a good eye for the small weaknesses of humanity. It was a good-natured eye, full of lively humour. He made a restful, easy, pleasant companion to spend, as we did, the hours between dinner and bedtime. Then suddenly I had to leave.
Signor Conde, una cartellina.
Grazie.
Scusi, Signor Conrad, there is just arrived a telegram for you.
For me? Oh, dear. Thank you.
Oh, no. Oh, my dear sir, sta benissimo? You seem upset. Is it bad news?
You are right, it is. This telegram is from the housekeeper of an old friend of mine in Taormina. He's been taken seriously ill, and she wants me to come at once.
Oh, then you must as soon as possible. If you will go to your room and pack, I'll find out the times of the trains and make all the arrangements at the reception here.
That's very kind of you.
Oh, my dear sir, it's the least I can do. Fate presto.
Of course.
Il tempi del treno a Taormina, prego.
Sì, Signor Conde.
Well, at least that seat is facing the engine.
Excellent.
I regret that it was impossible to get you a reserved seat.
I'm most grateful for everything.
Il piacere è mio. I have enjoyed being of service to you, my dear sir. All your luggage is safely aboard?
Oh, yes, it's all here.
You'll be off soon. Oh, by the way, Tonight, I am going to the Villa Nazionale. So many people, all of the best society, will be there. They will compensate for your absence. Bon voyage.
Au revoir.
Courage, mon cher ami. All will be well. Bon voyage.
My friend's illness having taken a decidedly favourable turn, I returned to Naples on the 10th day. I entered the half-empty dining room of the hotel.
Buonasera, signor Conrad. Benvenuto.
Good evening.
Il Conde is at his usual table.
And he was. As I crossed towards him, I noticed something unusual in his attitude. Instead of sitting erect, gazing all around him with alert urbanity, his head drooped over his plate. I stood on the opposite side of the table for some time. His correct outward appearance was unchanged, but when he finally looked up, his expression was for him almost wild.
Ah, my dear sir, I hope all is well with your friend.
I'm happy to say he's over the worst of it, and well on the road to recovery.
I'm glad. I hate to hear of people's friends' sufferings. I sometimes tend to take them, how shall I say, well, upon myself. I was brought up to believe that we are all members of each other, but now you find me here very sad.
I'm sorry for that. You haven't had bad news, I hope.
What? No, it's not bad news. It's very kind of you to take an interest. No, not that. Not bad news, thank God. The truth is that I have had a very, how shall I say, abominable adventure happen to me.
Abominable adventure? You? What have you been up to?
Oh, it's not some disreputable social scrape, my dear sir. It's very serious, very serious. I will tell you after dinner, if you will allow me. Now, let us drink to your return. Salute.
But I noticed, as we toasted each other, his hand trembled slightly. I think we'll have 2 brandies with our coffee.
Subito, signore.
You remember that evening you went away? I told you I would go to the Villa Nazionale to hear some music and enjoy the crowds.
Of course.
I will never forget that evening. Every detail, every incident is outlined in my mind from the moment I left you. Oh. Let me tell you how it was.
Please do.
After leaving the railway station, I strolled around to my watchmaker's. My gold timepiece needed attention, so I left it there. You remember it?
Certainly, it was exquisite. 18th century, I think.
No, it was Empire, given by Napoleon to my great-grandfather. It was given to me on my 21st birthday, but I have a spare one, a 50-franc thing on a lead guard. I went back to the hotel, played a little Schubert, dressed for dinner, and dined with a good appetite. Afterwards I lingered in the vestibule. I smoked my cigar. I talked to the little daughter of the primo tenore of the San Carlo Theatre and her mother.
Buonasera, signor Conde.
Buonasera, bellissima. Buonasera, signora.
No, buonasera, signor.
Come sta?
Questa sera non c'è nessun programma al San Carlo. Noi andiamo alla Villa Nazionale per il concerto musicale.
Anche io. Ci pare forse ci incontreremo.
Oh, spero che ci vediamo. Ma devo incontrare mio marito e sono in ritardo. Ciao, signor Conde.
Ciao, signora.
Andiamo, cara. Sì, mamma.
I was about to follow them to the concert when I remembered I had a rather large sum of money in my pocketbook. So I went to the office and I deposited the greater part with the hotel bookkeeper. This done, I left the hotel, took a carrozzella, and drove to the seashore. I remember the pony was black and the driver had blue eyes, unusual for Naples. It would be about 9:45. I got out of the cab and entered the villa on foot from the Largo de Vittoria end at 10 o'clock. Yes, 10 o'clock. Oh, the Villa Nazionale is one of my delights. And that night the pleasure gardens were most inviting. The weather was perfect. The Mediterranean murmured and splashed gently. The moon was full. A glorious evening. Oh, a glorious evening. As you know, the gardens themselves are not well lit, but the stars were as bright as diamonds, and in the distance was the luminous region where the band was already playing, their audience clustered around the bandstand. Sounds of the sea, the chatter from the carriages, and the rattling of the tramcars, the clamour of the noisy concert-goers, combined with the band's brassy roar and grave vibrato to make an elaborate music of its own. I headed in its direction, and soon drifted into the mainstream of the large, good-humoured crowd that milled around the bandstand. All were of good society. I flowed with the crowd. I drifted with it in tranquil enjoyment. There was, as always in Naples, a quantity of diverse types, but what predominated was the southern Italian type of young man, with a colourless, clear complexion, red lips, jet-black moustache, and liquid black eyes, so wonderfully effective in leering and scowling. You must know the type, my dear sir.
I do indeed.
There's a charming cafe in the garden, so I withdrew from the throng. The cafe was crowded, and I was obliged to share a small table with a young man typical of the type I mentioned. I ordered some lemonade. The young man was glowering at his empty glass. He looked up once, then looked down again, pulling his hat forcefully down over his brow. I thought to myself, he's sad. Something is wrong with him. Young men have their troubles. I took no further notice, of course. I paid for my lemonade and moved on. I strolled about in the neighbourhood of the band, happily jostling in the crowds. The music made us all safe, secure. I think I saw the young man wandering alone in the crowds. Indeed, once our eyes met, but they all looked so alike, I couldn't be certain if it was him. Moreover, I wasn't very concerned. I had been struck by the marked peevish discontent of his face. Youth should be enjoyed, not resented. Presently, I had the feeling of confinement that one experiences in a crowd, however congenial. The night air had become oppressive. I edged away from the crowd. I needed space to breathe, you understand. In a dark shade was an alley with one bare light, cool and inviting, with a promise of solitude and tranquillity. I walked the full length of it, into a small square, then back into the dark alley. There were a few benches lining the alley, and it wasn't until I'd made my promenade several times I noticed that there was someone occupying one of them. The bench was in the green dark beyond the single light. There was a man lolling in the corner of the bench. I thought he was asleep. His legs were outstretched, his arms folded and drooped over his chest. He never stirred. He seemed to have fallen asleep there. But when I passed next time, he had changed his attitude. He sat leaning forward, his elbows propped on his knees, and his hands were rolling a cigarette. He was engrossed in his occupation. He never looked up. I ignored him, continuing my solitary stroll. I was at peace with the night, and the sound of the music, softened by the distance, was perfection. I had spent a lifetime finding Naples. This night was my reward. When I slowly approached the bench again, the man was still leaning forward with his elbows on his knees. I sighed to myself and moved on. In the semi-obscurity of the alley, his high shirt collar and cuffs made small patches of vivid white. He got up and made as if to walk away. But almost before I was aware of it, he stood in front of me and in a low, gentle tone spoke.
Signor, could you oblige me with a light, per favore?
I dropped my hands to my pocket with the intention of exploring for my matches, but I never put them in my pockets. I felt a pressure below my breastbone. I glanced down, and what did I see? A knife. A long knife.
Good God!
It was in the exact place the Japanese formal suicide begins after an intolerable outrage upon you, upon the delicacy of one's feelings following a dishonor. a personal affront, a public disgrace.
You mean to say that you were being held up in a villa at 10:30 at night, in a stone's throw of 1,000 people?
Oh, yes, oh, yes. That creature ground his teeth and spat at me.
Silenzio! No noise.
I was completely astonished.
What sort of knife was it?
A long blade, a stiletto, perhaps a kitchen knife. A long, narrow blade. It gleamed, and his eyes gleamed, his teeth gleamed. I could see him. He was very ferocious. How could I fight with him? He had a knife, and I had nothing. I am nearly 70, you know, and he was a young man. I seemed to recognize him. The moody young man from the cafe. The young man I saw in the crowds. But I couldn't tell. There are so many like him in this country.
Didn't you shout out?
I was paralyzed by fear. Physically, I was impotent. Oh, my thoughts were active enough. They ranged over every alarming possibility. Of course, it occurred to me to set up a rigorous shouting for help, but to what point? There was nothing to stop him shouting too. He could have in an instant thrown away his knife and pretended that I was the aggressor.
No.
Why not? He could just as easily have said, I attacked him. Why not? It would only be one incredible story against another. He might have said anything. Bring more dishonorable charges against me. What do I know? By dress, he was no common robber. He seemed to belong to the better classes. What could I say? He was an Italian, I am a foreigner. Oh, of course I have my passport, and there is our consul, but to be arrested, my dear sir, and dragged at night to the police station like a criminal...
He might have killed you.
More important, he could have involved me in a scandal.
Surely not.
Of course. To many people this, considering the peculiarities of Neapolitan manners, would have remained a deucedly queer story. I was shocked. If this could happen to me, then anything might happen. It also occurred to me that this young man was perhaps merely an infuriated lunatic.
What did you do?
Nothing. I felt that if the young man was a lunatic, my self-esteem need not be affected by anything a madman might choose to do to me. I simply stood, motionless.
And?
I let my hands hang down very still. I said to him, as quietly and calmly as I could, I do not intend to make a noise. Again he bared his gleaming teeth, and his eyes were full of hatred. But when he spoke, his voice was quite ordinary, even matter-of-fact.
Vostro portfolio.
So I naturally reached inside my breast pocket and took out my pocketbook and handed it over to the young man. He was still bearing steadily down on the knife. But he refused to take my pocketbook.
Refused?
He was no ordinary thief.
Take out the money yourself and hand it to me in your left hand. Sinistre. Slowly.
The young man looked at the money briefly.
This seems very little. By touch only 340, maybe 360 lira niente.
I told him I had left most of my money in the hotel, that was all I had on me.
Imbroglione. A waste.
He increased the pressure of the knife on the part of my body immediately above my stomach. It hurt.
Vostro orologio. Your watch.
I gave it to him at once. As I told you, it was a cheap American Waterbury. When he had examined it, the young man made a contemptuous clicking sound.
Worthless. I disdain it. Go on, scemo inato. Take it back. Vostri anelli. Your rings.
Oh, that was too much. These rings are my life. No more than my life. The memories of my life. I faced him out. No. That you shall not have. I clasped my hands together. I had made my decision. That you shall not have. I closed my eyes. I was resigned. I waited. I expected to be disemboweled by the push of that long, sharp knife blade that now rested murderously against the pit of my stomach, the seat of all painful, anguishing sensations. I was revolted, but resigned. The great waves of harmony went on flowing from the band. I suddenly felt the pressure of the knife removed from the sensitive part. I opened my eyes. I was alone. The young man must have departed with light steps some time before, but the sense of that horrid pressure lingered even after the knife had gone. A feeling of weakness came over me. I had just time to stagger to the bench. I felt as if I had held my breath for a long time. I sat in a heap, panting with the shock of the emotion. Yes. I heard the band, unreal and remote, as if my ears had been stopped. And then the clapping of 1,000 hands like a sudden hail shower passing away. The profound silence which followed recalled me to myself. A tramcar, like a long glass box, where people sat with their heads brightly lit, ran along swiftly within 60 yards of the spot where I'd been robbed. Then another rustled by, and yet another going the other way. The audience about the band had broken up and were now entering the alley in small, animated groups.
Did you speak to anyone?
Certainly not. I sat up straight and tried to think calmly of what had happened to me. The vileness of it took my breath away. I was disgusted with myself.
But from what you have told me, your behavior was perfect.
Oh, it wasn't that, my dear sir. I was not ashamed. I was shocked at being the selected victim, not of robbery so much as contempt. My tranquillity had been wantonly desecrated. My lifelong nicety of outlook had been defaced. But as my agitation calmed down somewhat, I became aware I was frightfully hungry.
Hungry?
You seem surprised, my dear sir. So was I. But there it is. The sheer emotion of what had happened to me had made me simply ravenous. I left the seat, and after walking for some time, found myself before an arrested tramcar without knowing how I came there. I got in, as if in a dream, by a sort of instinct. Fortunately, I found in my pocket some small change to satisfy the conductor. When the car stopped, and as everyone was getting out, I got out too. I recognized I was in the Piazza San Ferdinando. I stood there like a lost dog.
Why didn't you take a cab back to the hotel from there?
Well, I told you I was frightfully hungry. All I could think about was getting something to eat at once. It was then I remembered my 20-franc gold piece. I always carried it with me in a waistcoat pocket as a reserve in case of accident. Well, anybody is liable to have his pocket picked, a quite different thing from a brazen and insulting robbery. I was standing facing the monumental arch of the Galleria Umberto at the noble flight of stairs. I lost no time climbing these and directed myself to the Café Umberto. As all the tables outside were occupied by people drinking, and what I desperately wanted was food, I went inside into the cafe's dining room, ordered a risotto, and sat down on a bench against one of the pillars. There are, you will remember, long looking-glasses set all around the pillars. While I was waiting for my risotto, my mind reverted to my abominable adventure. I could not get the moody, well-dressed young man with whom I'd exchanged glances in the crowd around the bandstand out of my mind, and I felt confident that he was my robber. Would I recognize him again? Oh, doubtless I would, but did I want ever to see him again? No, the best thing was to forget the whole humiliating episode. By now I was even more hungry than I had been. I looked around anxiously for the waiter with my risotto, and to the left against the wall, there sat the young man. He was alone, with a bottle of wine or syrup and a carafe of iced water before him. The smooth olive cheeks, red lips, the little jet moustache turned up gallantly, the fine black eyes a little heavy and shaded by long lashes, that peculiar expression of cruel discontentment, the stone faces of some of those Roman emperors. It was him, no doubt about it at all. But he was a type. I hastily looked away from him, but there was a young officer reading his paper at another table. Same type. Two men further on, playing draughts, also resembled him. Even the waiter who brought my risotto. I lowered my head with fear. I would everlastingly be haunted by the vision of that young man. I automatically began to eat my risotto. It was a comfort. Presently I heard the young man call out. Cameriere! What an arrogant, insolent voice he had. Unfeeling but commanding. And at that call, not only his own waiter, but two others belonging to different tables, my own included, rushed towards him with an alacrity that was astonishing, because it was so uncharacteristic of the listless waiters at the Café Umberto. The young man uttered something, and one of the waiters rushed to the nearest door out into the Galleria, shouting, "Pasquale! Oh, Pasquale!" Everyone knows Pasquale. He's a shabby old fellow who shuttles between the tables, peddling his cigars, cigarettes, picture cards and matches to the clients of the café. He is, of course, an engaging scoundrel, a character, and he plays upon it. I saw the grey-haired, unshaven ruffian enter the café, his glass case hanging from his scrawny neck by the leather strap. He always moved at a crippling snail pace to invite sympathy, but at a word from the waiter he added a sudden spurt to his shuffling gait on towards the young man's table. The young man spoke without looking at him. Cigaro. Pasquale served him fawningly, with back bent. The young man didn't deign to pay. Neither did Pasquale appear to expect payment. He was completely servile, like a whipped dog. If he had had a tail, he would have wagged it. He shuffled away. On a sudden impulse, I beckoned to him. He crossed to me with a smile of deferential recognition combined with the cynical, searching expression that never left his eyes. Leaning his glass case on the table, he lifted the lid without a word. I took a box of cigarettes. He looked at me expectantly. He sensed there was something more. So I spoke to him as casually as I could, and he answered softly without looking up. Tell me, Pasquale, who is the young man sitting over there?
Eh? Oh, that, Signor Conde, that is a young cavaliere of a very good family from Bari. He studies at the Università here, and is the chief, capo, of an association of young men. A very nice young man. Camorra. A very powerful Camorra. The professores themselves respect it greatly. Only 50 centesimi, Signor Conde.
I paid him with my gold piece. While Pasquale was making up my change, I noticed the young man I'd learned so much about in so few words, watching our transaction under his drooping lids. The old vagabond had withdrawn with a bow. I settled with the waiter and sat still. Could I believe Pasquale, who is, of course, the most accomplished liar in Naples? The young man paid his bill and got up and crossed over, apparently for the purpose of looking at himself in the mirror set in the pillar nearest to where I was sitting. He was dressed all in black, with a dark green bow tie. I looked around at him and was startled by meeting a vicious glance out of the corner of his eye. The young cavaliere from Bari went on casually arranging his tie, settling his hat before the glass, and meantime He spoke through his teeth with the most insulting contempt, still gazing into the mirror, just loud enough for only myself to hear.
So you had some girl on you. You're a liar. Bilba. Forfante. But you are not done with me yet.
The fiendishness of his expression vanished like lightning, and he lounged out of the cafe with a moody, impassive face. It was abominable.
It was outrageous. I've never heard of such wanton insolence. I'm surprised you didn't have a stroke on the spot.
Oh, my dear sir, I was in a public restaurant, and the fact that one man treats another with blatant arrogance and contempt does not mean the other should ostentatiously respond.
Well, I cannot tell you the full extent of my sympathy in what must have been dreadful circumstances.
Please, my dear sir, I was sure of your sympathies, otherwise I would not have intruded upon your susceptibilities. But I have told you this misfortunate incident to explain the reason why I am leaving southern Italy.
Leaving Naples? But you can't.
I must.
But from what you have told me, you are convinced you could not survive a whole year in any other climate.
That is unfortunately true. But I must leave this one.
Haven't you already informed the authorities?
I have been in bed for a week, and now I know what must be done.
Surely there has to be an alternative.
You do not understand, dear sir. You do not know what the Camorra is. The Camorra is to Naples what the Mafia is to Sicily. They have power over power. They have influence over the influential. I am a marked man.
I see. You are afraid.
I think you are missing my point. I am not afraid of what could be done to me. Even a crude death in a back street I could accept. No. One's conception of dignity, honor, if you like, has been contemptuously defiled. It was a sordid and degrading experience, and I cannot live with it. I have made all my arrangements.
But it is tantamount to suicide.
No, a withdrawal from shame. There is a chauvinistic Neapolitan saying intended as bravura patriotism, but meant to warn foreigners, I realize. Vedi Napoli e poi mori. See Naples, then die. It is a saying of excessive vanity, and anything excessive is abhorrent to me. It insults refinement of decorum. It puts into words the cruel arrogance of those revolting Caesars. I am chilled and appalled by its sentiments, but I accept its cruel precision. I am forced to accept the conceited spirit of the saying. I have seen Naples. Now I must accept Naples' conception of herself.
I went with him the next evening to the station. He had seen to everything with startling thoroughness. He was going to his grave. Of course he was going to it by the train de luxe of the International Sleeping Car Company. He had his compartment that would take him home via Trieste and Vienna. The 4 long, somber coaches pulled out of the station. I raised my hat with a solemn feeling of paying a last tribute to a funeral cortege. Au revoir.
Goodbye, my dear sir.
The train pulled out of the station. Il Conde's profile, much aged, glided away in stony immobility behind the lighted pane of glass. Vedi Napoli e poi mori.
In Il Conde by Joseph Conrad, dramatised for radio by Alan Owen, the part of Il Conde was played by John Moffat and Joseph Conrad by John Woodvine. The young man was Nicholas Bolton. The hotel guests, Leslie O'Hara, Francis Jeter, Rachel Atkins and Una Beeson. The hotel staff, Frank Coda, David Thorpe and David Jarvis. Pasquale, Don McCorkindale. Other parts were played by members of the cast. The play was directed by Enid Williams.